Alrighty, CNT140, we are working on our fiber optic lab, and we're working on our first piece of equipment in the lab, the visual fault locator. The visual fault locator is basically a, kind of a glorified laser pointer that has a fitting on to fit your fiber optic connector. In this case, this is a older stock connector. That's your ST connector. But your fiber optic connector can slide into there. As you turn this on, it's going to emit a laser light down the fiber, and it will allow you to see if the light is coming out through the whole length of fiber. So this will allow you to find if you have bad connections or maybe a break in the fiber. Let's say you're using this cable to connect, two devices together or two switches together, that sort of thing, and you're having a link failure. You're not getting a link. You could take this cable off and connect it to your fiber optic visual fault locator. I'm going to connect it to the fault locator first. Then I'll turn it on. And this is actually set up that it's going to be emitting a flash. So it's putting a laser light into the fiber, and you can almost see it in there. You'll see through the ceramic ferrules blinking, so you know light is going into the fiber. It's on my red fiber in this case. As it travels the whole way through the cable and out the other end, I'm actually seeing the laser light come out the fiber. And just as a little side note, I'm being very careful that this does not point at me or my eyes, because this is a laser light source. But I'm trying to hold it such that you can actually see the end of the fiber. You can actually see the fiber, the light coming out of the end of the fiber here. So if I were testing this cable, this red cable, if you will, the red side of this patch cable, I would know the light is going the whole way through and it's coming out pretty strong on the other end. So this is probably not the fiber that would be causing the issue. I'm going to turn my visual fault locator off. I'll disconnect the red cable, and I'm now going to put the black side of the cable in. And I'm just referencing that because that is your strain relief boot. So we know it's that side of the cable now. I'm going to turn my fault locator back on, and I'm going to see, again, light going into the fiber. So it's working its way the whole way through the fiber. As I look at the other end of the fiber out here, I don't see any light coming out. My fault locator is emitting it. It's blinking, but I see no light coming out. So I would then start looking at my fiber, the whole length, and see if there is a break anywhere. In this case, this fiber has a real bad kink. Maybe it got jammed behind something, a drawer, that sort of thing, and it actually broke the fiber. So as the light hits here, it hits that break and it's leaking out, almost like a cut in a garden hose. The water would be squirting out. In this case, the light is leaking out or squirting out, so to speak. So in this case, with this fiber, just this little check right here, I know that this is the faulty part of the cable. I would need to replace this cable. So this allows me to see, in this case, my red side of the cable was fine. The black side of the cable in this case is not. There happens to be a break right there. That would allow me to find that. So there's your visual fault locator. Again, I'm going to shut that off before I disconnect so I don't have laser light just blasting out. So there's your visual fault locator.